Yeah, I'm looking for some action, and it's out there somewhere. You can feel the electricity all in the evening air, and it may just be more of the same. But sometimes you wanna go where everyone knows your name. So I guess I'll have to wait and see. But I'm just gonna let something brand new happen to me. And it's alright, it's alright, it's alright, it's alright, it's alright. Bright lights in the big city. It belongs to us tonight. I've got the magic in me. Every time I touch that track, it turns into gold. Now everybody knows I've got the magic in me. When I hit the flow, the girls come snapping at me. Now everybody wants some presto magic.
Down the tempo, blow your mind. Pick a verse, any verse, I'll hypnotize you with every line. I'll need a volunteer. How about you? With the eyes, come on down to the front and sit right here and don't be shy. So come on, let's see the show tonight. Prepare to be astounded. No ghost or poltergeist. You know I'm no Pinocchio. I never told a lie. They call me Mr. Magic, man. I'm float on cloud nine.
I've got the magic in me. Every time I touch that track, it turns into gold. Everybody knows I've got the magic, 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 magic. I got the magic in me.
Feel the magic in the air.
It's magic, you know. Never believe it's not so. It's magic, you know. Summer, summer, summer. It's like a merry-go-round. I see you under the midnight, all shackles and bows. High shoes with the cleats clicking, a temperamental glow. Well, don't you let me go. Oh, got a hold on.
Welcome to the 2023 Region 7 Expanded Learning Kickoff. How's everybody doing? Put it in the chat. Welcome to the Magic Show. I am your magician, Joshua Blecka, also known as your region lead for the System of Support for Expanded Learning. I'm very excited about today. I apologize we had to go virtual, but we're going to make this fun. Quick fact, I have a screen of me looking at me, so if I ever look down like this, I'm looking at myself. Yeah. Little weird. But hey, that's what you get when you get a highly productive professional working with you. So here's the deal. System of support, what is that? And if you've met me, I probably explained it to you 1,000 times, but for the folks that don't know what that is, California has a system of support for expanded learning. California is broken up into 11 different regions. We are, in the chat, can you put what region we're a part of? Region 7. We are Region 7. Congratulations if you got that correct. No, but here's the thing to know. Every region has a region lead, an education's program consultant from the California Department of Education, and a fiscal analyst. I am your region lead for Region 7 Fresno. Region 7 is broken up into 3 parts. The North, Merced, Mariposa, that is Sheila Brooks. Sheila Brooks, how you doing? Boom. And we also have Virginia Cepeda down south and also Madera. So we are broken up into 3 different regions. Our main goal is to provide technical assistance opportunities so that you keep as much money as possible, so that we can provide those services that we need to provide for our kids and the services that those kids deserve. So that is our role. I want to now explain why we chose to do a magic theme. One, magic's really cool. But other than that, I wanted to also explain a part of magic is also about making things appear and disappear, which hopefully, if everything goes correct and my learning of the magic tricks that I've tried to learn, if I can execute them correctly, you guys are going to see some magic today. Like, no joke, real magic. Okay? But as far as expanded learning, we make things appear and we make things disappear. And I want to elaborate on that because expanded learning is one of the most impactful education systems that we have. And I want to highlight some of the things that we do in our field. So, our youth are certain to get food. We do that through snacks and meals. They also get an SEL connection, so social emotional learning. They have an opportunity to connect with their peers, not only their peers, but also adults, role models. We also provide them academic assistance. We're able to connect them to services on campus. Ever hear of a IEP plan or a 504 plan? Those are those. That's services. Those are mental health services or learning services that students can engage in that we can help connect them to. Career exploration. which happens a lot in high school and middle school. We also have fun, but also our fun is often rooted in some kind of academic component. Anyone ever heard of disguised learning? Yeah, that's a thing. We're also academically aligned to the state standards, those lesson plans that we have to fill out. Those usually call for a content standard that we're addressing. But what we do with that is not only do we provide academic purpose to our youth, but we're connecting to Core Day and helping support them in teaching those content standards to ensure that the kids pick it up. We also provide transportation. We also have language development, both formally and informal. Formally, I know that we have some programs that operate parent literacy nights or student literacy nights or program components around literacy. But we also have budget lines that allow for us to purchase books for our kids. So, yeah, that's one of my favorites. Services, free services. So our programs, the point of expanded learning is about making sure that we provide kids unique opportunities to learn. But the funding, ACES, 21st Century, and ELOP, newly $4 billion expanded learning opportunities program funding, billion. Money comes opportunity, but that money is actually provided to us in this education system because of how many at-promise youth we work with. So if you have a homeless or foster youth, an English language learner, a student who qualifies for free and reduced price meals, that's why your program has an ACES 21st Century or are leveraging ELOP dollars, okay? So when I say free services, those youth should be accessing free services, free expanded learning services, leveraging those dollars. And then also one of my favorites, especially for middle school and high school, identity exploration. You know, kids can wear program shirts. They can participate in clubs or enrichment programs, whatever. But all those things are based on choice. And that's one of my favorite aspects around expanded learning is allowing students to lead program based on opinions, needs, but then also allowing them the choice as to what they can decide on. So that's a lot. That's a lot. So again, we make things appear, services, but we also make barriers disappear. And what I mean by that is we take away some of these things that get in the way of kids having the ability to learn. And every kid deserves a productive academic journey. So with that, that's a lot. So with ELOP and the state investment being so large, I need help, okay? Sheila, Virginia, myself, we need some help. And, you know, today, me being a magician now, newly trained, highly functional magician, I am going to try to make someone appear who could help. But first, I know I have this magic wand. I actually left my hat offset, so I'm going to need to go get that. I'll be back, and hopefully I can make someone appear to help us out, okay? I'll be right back. Oh, God. Okay. I got it. We're good. There's the hat. Got the wand. Okay, we're ready. Like I was saying, with all this funding for ELOP, we have ACES in 21st Century, of course, like I just previously mentioned. I need additional support, and as a true musician, I can make things appear and disappear. So I think, now that I have my hat, now that I have my wand, I read the instructions in this magic book thing, I think I'm ready to make someone appear to help with technical assistance. Okay, let's see if I can do it. Wow, 2 of me? Is that your choice? Good job. I like your style. No, you are too difficult to work with. No. Let's try this again. We need TA. I need someone to help me with TA. Appear, magic wand, go! Abracadabra, now! Are all the camera angles getting this? I was joking. I didn't read the book. I didn't read this. And this is fake. I bought this at PartyWorks with a PO. Who are you?
Lexi Rogers.
So, are you here to support the region with technical assistance?
Yes.
That is amazing. Okay, first things first, now that you're just starting. You just starting, right?
No, July 1.
You started in July. Let's move forward. Lexi, I'm the magician. You're here to help support TA. TA can be quite demanding. Do you have any, background or skills in expanded learning?
Yeah. I have a couple of tricks up my sleeve.
Oh, wow. Where'd those cards come from? I think I saw you just put those cards in.
No.
But it's okay. You know what? Anything else? You got anything else?
I know another trick or two.
Yeah? What do you got?
I need a roll.
Oh, okay. Whoa, okay.
In your hat.
Easy. What is it? Ah! Okay, can we put that back in there? I can't raise it. I have 2 kids, I can't raise it in a rabbit. Okay, is there anything else in there? Oh, wow. There's nothing. Okay, I'll just wear this. Okay, so Lexi, you're here to support the region. I'm happy to have you supporting Region 7 Fresno. I know you're gonna do a lot of work with site leads, but that's not it. So if you see Lexi, she is a part of the system of support for expanded learning. She is here to help us. Okay? So how are you gonna get home? Like, are you gonna walk?
No, my Uber's waiting for me.
You don't want me to send you back to the realm that you came from?
No, it was a rough landing.
Okay. Well, we'll see you around then. Do you want to learn any more magic tricks or?
Yeah.
No? Okay, yeah.
I've got the magic in me. Every time I touch that track, it turns into gold. Now everybody knows I've got the magic in me.
Wow. Just noticed that my tan is a little intense for this summer. Yeah. So Lexi is gonna help out the region. That's amazing. Unfortunately, she took an Uber and she's standing right in front of me now. Hi, Lexi. Do you want to join us?
Yes.
Hi. That's interesting. You're wearing a different outfit.
Yeah, Uber brought me a new change of clothes.
Oh, so you didn't leave? Oh,
Yeah.
You wanted to stay. That's great.
Yes.
So I felt like we got cut short in our conversation around what you're all about. I'm not gonna lie, when I made your profile, I made up most of that stuff. So, including your experience, I just guessed.
You were close.
Yeah?
So this year marks 9 years of experience in expanded learning.
We'll give you an extra year.
Yeah.
Expanded learning can wear you down. And I learned math at 9, like you just round up. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. So what districts have you worked with?
So I've worked with Central Unified, Fresno Unified, and Kings County Unified.
Oh, wow. That's like some of the bigger districts. Like the biggest districts. That's cool.
Yeah.
So I think everyone's dying to know, how did you pull the rabbit out of the hat like that?
A magician cannot reveal their secrets.
Wow.
Sorry.
Quick note, that was not in the script. She just thought of that right now, and that was great. Lexi, what is your favorite thing about expanded learning?
Ooh, I think the impact it has on students, the safe space for kids to grow and learn and develop. That's my favorite part.
Nice. Well, you're going to have a greater impact now. You're across the entire Region 7 Fresno area. That is a large county area. So, Lexi, before we segue out of here and start performing, less than stellar tricks compared to what you just did. You just pulled a rabbit out of your hat. That's insane. So, for the folks out there still watching who haven't logged off yet, thank you for that, 1. But 2, we've consolidated some information. Lexi and I worked together to create a top 5 list. 2 of them. 1 for expanded learning educators, which some people often refer to as tutors or program leaders or whatever, less than stellar title. I call us expanded learning educators. So those frontline staff, those 1 to 20s, the 1 staff member to those 20 students. That's you. I'm talking to you. We got 5 things that we think you should know, especially if this is your first year, first day, first hour, first 15 minutes. We believe that you should know this. Lexi, you should blink. Okay, good. Okay. They need to know that you weren't photoshopped in. And then we also have a top 5 for site leads. Site leads, if you were just appointed the position, it's your first day, first hour, 15 minutes, whatever, we got something that we feel like you should know too. But it also pertains to expanded learning educators as well. So with that, Lexi, do you think we should drop that knowledge?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. So get ready. Welcome to the Magic Show. Okay, got another trick for you. Magician Josh checking in. Like expanded learning, I can make things appear, I can make things disappear. Lexi made things appear, so she had those bases covered. I'm gonna make something disappear. I'm gonna make my hat disappear. Are you ready? In 3, 2, 1. I made my hat disappear. And if you're questioning me, and questioning whether the hat is there, look again. Let's review the top 5 things a site coordinator should know. Wow, I guess there's nothing post-production can't do. That hat disappeared. I blame it on magic and skill. So let's go over the top 5 things that we believe a site coordinator / site lead, whatever the title is, should know. We'll start with number 1, early release policy. Dun dun dun. Believe it or not, early release is required for ACEs and 21st century programs. How do you know if you have ACEs or 21st century programs? Ask your supervisor, they'll tell you. But more often than not, you are required to do those, especially, if you have ACEs in 21st century. If you are an ELOP only funded program, you do not have to use an early release procedure. But odds are, a lot of schools in our areas qualify for ACEs in 21st century. If you're operating an ACEs in 21st century and you've ever had to use early release codes, that's your early release policy. Okay? I'll say this. When programs are audited or reviewed, that is the number 1 thing that comes up that programs typically need to get in order or fix, or potentially doing incorrectly. So, if you don't know what that is, check in with your supervisor because it is important. Number 2, CQI. Also, it is an acronym, which our education system loves. Education just loves acronyms. CQI stands for Continuous Quality Improvement. Here are the 3 steps to CQI. Assess, plan, and improve. Assess means that you gather the input of your educational partners, students, parents, teachers, administrators, you, and based on that input, you figure out what are some of the things that need improvement within your program. Whatever the consensus is around that improvement, you choose that, and then oftentimes it's rooted in a quality standard. So for example, I used this recently. If there was a stranger walking the fence line talking to students, I guarantee you that'd be number 1 on the parents' list as something that needs to be improved. Students and teachers. I guarantee you admin would say it too. If that was number 1, it doesn't say, that's not a quality standard. That's the issue. Once that issue is derived, you go to the quality standards and you go, hey, what does this issue fall under? Safe and supportive environment is one of the quality standards. That's what it would fall under. Once you have the assessment, the data collected, once you have a plan, what you're going to actually do to fix the issue or problem or innovation or improvement, because it doesn't always have to be a problem. It could just be something. It could also be an innovation or making something more efficient. Once you have that plan created, you simply improve. One of the main things that I see with CQI plans is, as far as low quality, is when a site lead, due to timeline, conducts the CQI plan independently. So it's only their input. And what happens when we do that, it limits the resources that could be had to implement an effective CQI plan. So for example, that stranger walking the fence line talking to students, an administrator on campus would be able to look at the budgets and go, yes, we can cover the cost of a peace officer, and be able to provide financial support to hire somebody to do that. Now, if that administrator wasn't involved, you might still be able to do it independently, but odds are, because you engage so many educational partners, you'd be able to move forward. We're going to touch on the quality standards shortly. Program plan, number 3. Program plan, think of it as the vision of your program. It has every aspect of your program: how you recruit kids, how you target what kids you're targeting, what components you're focusing on, the duration, your schedule. It also, if done effectively, has all of your large purchases, has your field trips, what your thematic units will be, why you're focusing on what academics that you're focusing on. So think of it as your vision. They typically need to be redone every 3 years or modified every 3 years. I recommend every year because things change. At least give it a once over every year. And if something has changed, make the adjustment. My recommendation is site leads, if you're the one doing the CQI plan independently, the program plan, again, get more people involved. Get your administrator involved. Number 4, LCAP. No, not the middle school in Central Unified, although that's where I'm from as a site lead. Boo. Just kidding. Yay. Sorry, I meant to say yay. I said boo because someone just gave me a thumbs down behind the camera. But no, LCAP is legit. LCAPs, see ya. I see you. So LCAP, Local Control Accountability Plan. What is that? Well, you can find it on your district's webpage. And oftentimes I'll hear site leads go, well, we have really amazing things, but I don't know how to connect it to academics. Or I don't know how to connect it to the district goals. Well, guess where you can find your district goals? They are outlined thoroughly in their district LCAP plan. So if you're looking to align with regular day, check out that LCAP. Food for thought, Fresno Unified's, I think is like 300 pages. Okay? So it's definitely going to be some deep reading if you're in a larger district. Okay. Number 5, site leads. This one's huge. One of the phrases I hear more often than not is site leads will say, I feel like I'm on an island. They run 180 days. They're the ones that are essentially being administrators on campus from 3 to 6. Feel like I'm on an island. But remember this, you are a part of something bigger. Expanded learning is now one of the largest education systems in California. The state reemphasized that by investing $4 billion because they believe in the work that you do. So remember that in 2023 this year and moving forward, you are a part of something bigger. So when you hit fatigue, call another site lead. If you hit the fatigue, remind yourself the impact that you have is greater than you can even comprehend, not just at your site, but also at the programs across California. We work with some of the most at-promise youth. These kids come with all different circumstances that our programs are designed to help support so that these kids can get the education that they deserve. Remember that. The impact that you make is enormous. Bonus, I wouldn't say this is number 6. This is a bonus. So if anytime you see this logo here, oh, that's weird. This logo here, site leads, if it says site lead on a flyer and it has that logo, you are invited. We actually have a site lead space cohort. It's a really amazing opportunity where we get site leads together. And the intention is to acknowledge that you are a person, build you up as an individual, so that indirectly you can become a better site lead. So we're all about personal growth within these cohorts. We're not going to tell you how to operate your program, but we're going to provide you reflective practices to make you a better, more productive individual so that you can indirectly be a better site lead. So the next one that's coming up is actually in September. Lexi is actually leading that one. So be on the lookout. It's exciting. Okay. I think we transition to the next magic trick. Site leads, remember, I believe you are the most important position when it comes to taking the vision from an administrator or from a district and actually executing that vision. Remember that. You are probably the most important position when implementing program for our students. So let's transition to the next top 5. Where'd my hat go? Welcome back. So, like expanded learning, magician me can make things appear and disappear. That has nothing to do with this trick, however. I've purchased these cards to show you a trick. So, but before we get to our top 5 things that you should know, I need you to answer one question. Pick a card. Pick a card. Any card. Pick a card, any card. Pick a card, any card. Okay, do you have your card? Go ahead and choose it. I'm assuming it's this one here. This one. Is this your card? Is this your card? Is this your card? Told you. I'm a magician now. Thank you. Let's reveal the top 5 things an expanded learning educator should know.
No, don't get stressed, it's gonna get figured out. Oh, deep conversation that no one allows. Headstrong father and a determined mother. Oh, that's why some nights we try to kill each other. But you know it's always love. We never knew how to fake it.
Okay, let's get these back and set up. Okay. Welcome back. So, if you've been paying attention, every song has to deal with magic. It's part of the theme. You're probably wondering, that song had nothing to do with magic, and I would refute that. It does. It has the Jonas Brothers on it, and their magic. Okay? I'm sure that that's going to blow the chat up, but bring it. Top 5 expanded learning educators should know. Number 1, components. There are required components. Here are the 3 required components. Snack or a meal. So if you have a room full of 150 middle school kids getting into the cafeteria and you're handing out snack and you're like, oh my gosh, why am I doing this every day? It's actually an ed code. It's law. Second component is academics, which usually comes in the form of tutorial for our programs. And then also, finally, we have enrichment. Enrichment is, that is probably the thing that we love doing the most in our jobs, because that's the dancing, that's the sports, that's the cooking, that's the magic class where I learned how to do all these tricks. Side note, physical activity and literacy we should be giving opportunities for as well. Okay? Not a requirement, like it's not a required component, but those we should be providing opportunities. So we do that often, like providing sports or literacy. If we do like reading during our academic portion, that would suffice. Number 2, staff ratios. Staff ratios. What does that mean? For every staff member, how many students should there be? Well, I'll tell you. For transitional kindergarten, which is TK, and kindergarten, it should be 1 to 10. Those are the small ones. I'll give you a quick story. I subbed one time for kinder. I never did it again. I wasn't built for that. There was a kid that threw up. And at that time, I didn't have magic abilities, so I couldn't make that throw up disappear. So I asked the class, who's going to clean that up? And they all looked at me and said, you. And I did. So I guess, yeah, I did make it disappear. I wish I didn't have to get a towel and wipe it up. Anyway, moving on. Staff ratios, TK and kinder, 1 to 10. 1st through 12th, 1 staff member for every 20 students. Now, here's what I'll say. There's a lot of legacy thinking when I hear about staff ratios. I'll hear expanded learning educators go, well, I had 25 kids in my class. We're out of compliance. That's not okay. It should be 20. Well, if the classroom next door has 15, you're in ratio. because the ratios are campus-wide. Okay, I would not recommend doing that for TK and Kinder, however. Okay, those ratios should be as small as possible. Hence the story I just shared. Number 3, lesson plans. I'm sure some of us want to make sure that disappears, but fortunately, those are lesson plans. Although can be like, oh gosh, that's really micromanaging. Why do I have to do that? Because lesson plans, they are proof, evidence that we are actually connecting what we do to academics. It's showing intentionality, thoughtfulness, and that we're actually providing academics to our kids. So when you have an enrichment cooking class and you're building in some nutritional standards, or you have a STEAM class and you're building in some math standards, that's showing the state, yeah, this actually has purpose and meaning. Because otherwise, if we didn't have that, our programs would just be clubs, hangouts, babysitting. And we are not babysitting. Never have and never will be. I hope. I can't predict the future. But I hope not. It won't be, okay? It will. Number 4. This is a big one. Believe it or not, expanded learning educators, that one staff to the 20 students, you are always modeling, okay? So remember that when you walk in to program, the things that you have in your hand, energy drink, it's Slurpee day, free Slurpee, walk in with a Slurpee, or you got a big old plate of nachos. Everything that you do, kids are watching, and they're gonna model because guess what? They think that you're cool. You are their role model. Okay, so just remember that everything that you do on campus and potentially off campus too. If you work in a small community, I hear stories about kids like seeing staff members in grocery stores, and they show up more excited for those kids than professional athletes, or for those people than professional athletes. They're like, oh my gosh, that's Josh. Whoa, that's Josh. And then I have to say no autographs. I get autographs. No, I've never had a kid do that. Okay, I'm sure you guys have though. But just remember the importance of being a thoughtful role model. Number 5. How do we know if we're doing something well? Oftentimes there's a standard. Okay, expanded learning is no different. We have 12 quality standards, which we will share early next week. All the resources that I talk about. And if you're new to expanded learning, that's one of the first places that I would go. Site leads, if you're still watching, those are some of the things that I would be sharing because that is our baseline expectation for our programs as to what kids should get, how staff should execute that particular strength, and also what programs should look like if that strength is integrated. Okay, I also have a bonus for expanded learning educators. Bonus time. I want to talk student behavior. And I've been there. I was a tutor, was an assistant site lead, a multi-site manager, every level. And I remember the most difficult kids walking into those spaces and how difficult that student behavior was. But it wasn't until I lived the field for a little bit that I learned this simple fact. Is these kids, when they're showing up and they have these behavioral issues, a quick classroom management training isn't going to necessarily fix that. Unless they're talking about why that kid is showing up the way that they are. So understand that we work with, our programs are predominantly filled with homeless and foster youth. Reflect on that background right there. How tough that experience is. We also have English language learners. They have their own set of needs, wants, and their own things that they're experiencing in their life. And then low socioeconomic families. They have their issues. So oftentimes our most misbehaved youth are bringing in what they're carrying. So remember that. Not only remember that, but remember the simple fact that these kids are anywhere from TK up to 12th grade. Some of us are anywhere from 18 to me, I'm 25, but there's some people that are older, and we've had time to learn how to process the experiences that we've gone through in our life. These kids haven't, or they're still working on it. Some of these kids can't even describe the emotions that they're feeling. So these feelings just show up and they don't know what to do with them. So our goal, though, in those instances is to help those kids get language to the things that they're feeling. And if you feel like it's too much for you, there are resources on campus. We have school psychologists. We are now integrating school therapists on campus more now than ever. We have school counselors, site leads. If you're still on, hope you are. Remember that. If you have difficult students, don't just kick these kids out of program. These kids need us more than any other demographics. They are carrying so much on their shoulders. So remember that. Our last resort should be kicking a student out of program. These are the kids that need us the most. And that's it. Those are the top fives. Top fives. Whoa. Top fives for site leads. Top fives for expanded learning educators. High five to me. I wish I knew more magic because I would have made myself disappear right there. Boom. Okay, we're about to segue out of here. Not because I'm running out of content, but because it's very hot in this space that I'm recording this. And my cape is not built for like a sweaty magician. So I want to close this out with a comment, a statement. Site leads, again, remember the importance of your position. Expanded learning educators, you are literally the person that is working directly with the kids that have the most needs. So I believe you are equally as important as a site lead. Remember that. The impact that you have on a kid's life, even if you only work in expanded learning for 1 year, if you do your job right, those kids will never, ever, ever forget the impact that you've had on them. And to me, that's probably one of the most rewarding things within expanded learning. So I want to say this. Remember the system of support? It's a system across California. That entire system is rooting for you. It is rooting for your programs. And the state measures success based on what's in law. And that's an unfortunate reality. But if you pull those individuals aside and you ask them, and you ask me, or you ask Lexi, or you ask the random guy that's over here running all this, what is success mean? How is it measured in our programs? It's simple. Let's make sure that these kids have spaces to feel safe, to have fun, and spaces where we can provide them continuous room for unconditional positive regard. And to me, what that sounds like is love. And I'm not saying that you hug on the kids and blow kisses. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is let these kids show up as their genuine selves and just appreciate it, because that's who they are. We don't need them to be any other versions of themselves, unless there's behavioral issues, but then we can talk about that later, okay? So 2023 is going to be a big year. 2023, 2024. A very, very big year. And I hope that we can use some of the magic that we learned today to push our programs forward. And I want you guys to feel it, breathe it, because magic is definitely in the air. I had a blast. Please look out for that region logo. On any other TA professional development opportunities, you are more than welcome to reach out. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat. Believe me when I say this. You are amazing. The work that you do is amazing. I am rooting for you. Go do it. 2023. Handle it. Also, side note, the kickoff in person is still happening. Be on the lookout. Take care, everybody. I'm going to make myself disappear now.
Comme d'habitude, on est calé. Comme toujours, ça va aller. On te met la grâce à gogo. Tous ensemble, on fait le show. On t'invite à la magie. Y a pas de raccourci. Oublie tes soucis. C'est bien faire la folie. On t'invite à la magie. Y a pas de raccourci. Oublie tes soucis. Oh, 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 oh.
C'est pas seulement pour les bobos. Nous on vient d'Alou Mambo. Mon ami, si tu as le niveau, rejoins-nous pour t'enjailler.
On t'invite à la magie, y a pas de raccourci. Oublie tes soucis et viens faire la folie.
On t'invite à la magie, y a pas de raccourci. Oublie tes soucis. Oh, 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 oh. Magic système.
Bonjour nous.
Ouais, ça change pas.
Ah ouais.
Ah, Shawty avec Red One. Est-ce que ça marche?
Ça va pas.
On vient du ghetto pour aller plus haut. Avec les magiciens, c'est Freddy Coco. On vient du ghetto pour aller plus haut. Avec les magiciens. Oh, oh, oh.
name is Bob, and I approve this message.